The Honourable Sophia Mormont.
Thank you. As we start a new parliamentary year, I found myself reflecting on what it is that brought me to this place, why myself and my colleague, the Honourable Dr. Walker, was sent here. Is very simple. We were sent here by the voters. The legalisation of cannabis is a political issue. That's time has come. The public knows this, and we sure know that the voters know it as well. Since the election of 2 members to this place for the Legalised Cannabis Party, we have seen a massive 500,000 people vote for our party at the federal election, and another 2 colleagues elected into the Victorian Upper House at a state level. So now there are 4 of us in Parliament, and I don't doubt that there will be more very soon. It is just unfortunate in WA that we have a Labor government with a Premier who seems simply dismissive of our cause, unwilling to engage on the issue, and who holds such a majority so don't feel the need to even have a sit-down and discuss what is clearly a policy that the public would like this Parliament to deal with. A recent poll showed that 50% of the public are in favour of full legalisation, and that number is growing. And when I'm talking about full legalisation, that includes recreational use. My voice and the voice of others within the community who are pushing for legalisation will only get louder. Cannabis will be legalised across Australia, probably sooner than you think. And for the life of me, I cannot understand why members of this place would not want to help position WA at the forefront of this change that is inevitably going to happen. And if you think this is just a minor issue, you couldn't be more wrong. Cannabis is now the 5th largest crop in the United States. You heard me right, the 5th. That's huge. Tens of billions of dollars are pumping through the American economy on the back of more relaxed cannabis laws. Hundreds of thousands of jobs have been created, and millions in windfall tax revenues have benefited those state governments that have embraced the change. And that's just the states. There are a plethora of other countries who are making the change as well. In this country, the Australian Capital Territory already allows for the possession of up to 50 grams of dried cannabis and 2 plants. And weirdly enough, the sky has not fallen in on the ACT. Police have more resources there to get on with doing other things to serve our community and our court system, or that court system isn't being clogged with hearings about minor cannabis possession and charges. Perhaps the only people losing out there are the lawyers, something I don't have an issue with. I have donated enough to them already. Unlike the Premier of this state, who it seems at the drop of a hat will happily sit down for a social media pic holding a can of beer, endorsing the most damaging drug in our nation, alcohol. Just because it is legal to sell, whether that is alcohol or nicotine, doesn't mean there is no harm. And whilst I'm endearing myself to a variety of industries, I'm not a fan of sugar or opioids either. I'm quite inclusive like that. We could be at the forefront of research and development. We could be helping our farmers by having another valuable crop. And what we spoke about today in regards to logging, hemp can offer a lot there too. We could be regulating to safeguard minors, but instead we are stopping regulation, leaving the way open for minors to be harmed, and also leaving the way open for possibly cheaper, inferior products to flood our market. This will make it harder for local businesses to get into the market once it is legalised. We could be supporting sustainable industries instead of mining. We could be setting up these industries, helping manufacturing come back to WA, providing greater economic independence and security. Over the next 12 months, the Legalised Cannabis Party will be holding community consultations across the state on our draft bill to legalise the use of cannabis recreationally. I personally favour a more conservative approach to legalisation. I don't want a shop on every corner. I want discreet advertising. I want the use to be discreet as well. And I will talk about this at a later stage. But there will be a bill presented to this House in the next year or so that I hope will motivate a healthy debate on the issue in Parliament and in the wider community. Until then, I will continue to be the voice of those seeking to make this important change to our state's drug laws. Thank you.